and then we convert to web service. After that, we'll call Workday out SOAP to execute that web service. And after that, we will use aggregator to merge all records. Okay, and then store component in async mediation to store output. So you can see here as well. So here we are splitting the data. Here we are transforming the output. Then we are aggregating the records. So this size-based strategy means -1 means do not does not matter about the size of the content. For example, if you give 100, it means that after 100 messages, aggregate that. So then it will go back to next message.
Okay.
Otherwise, after 100 messages, it will just execute the store. If -1 means does not matter what is the size, it will
Okay.
just keep executing it until the end of record comes. And
Okay.
then we have XML content collator. So whenever we want to create XML output, so then we use XML content collator. We merge all those. So at the end of this process, output of this XSLT, which will contain the tag like org, okay, and empty org, and then it will have the root node as organization. So under this organization and this footer node organization / organization in between, we'll have output of this and this. This will be present there, and that will be stored here using the store component. So this is how it is being completed. Okay, we are done for today. So for the time, you just go through each components and click on, like I explained you, click on the help icon and try to read, understand what is this, and try to get the Workday tenant so that you can deploy your changes and then kind of have hands-on experience so that you can understand all this.
Okay. So, can you just give me some overview about the error handling, local
Sorry, what
error
should I give?
handling? Yeah, error handling, local error handling, global error handling. Um, that one.
Yeah, for every, I can explain quickly. So like this is this is async mediation, yes. So
Yeah.
here when you click on this, you will see one of the option, create send error. So if you click on that, sender component will be there. So if there is any error in this component, based on that, you can mention what it needs to do. So you can see send error, and then if you create another async mediation here,
Okay.
in case of failure, it will just execute this one. Okay,
Okay.
like this we handle. You can see here as well. So here, if there is a error, it will execute this
Okay.
report error, and then based on that, it will take certain action. So this is actually put integration message component, which you can see here in the under common components,
Okay.
put integration message. So what it does, it will always take two parameters, severity and summary. Severity means whether it's error info or failed based on these things, and it will then print the error message.
Okay.
Okay, so you let me know once you have the tenant access, then I can execute these things and let you know. But all
Okay.
these things will be covered into Workday Studio training actually. In this short time, I can just give you a quick overview, but
Okay. Yeah. What I need
will
is
not understand.
I just need And this some one two inbound integrations and two on outbound integrations, which I can explain in the interview. You
Hmm.
told me, right, this one, how to load that worker data into Workday. Yeah, these steps. If you can
Yes.
give me these steps, I can explain in the interview. That's
Yeah.
what I know overall.
So if you have any student integration, just prepare that. Otherwise, you
Okay.
want me to give some student integration to explain.
Yeah, that is also fine. Let me see
Hmm.
if I have anything.
Yeah, yeah. Check first if you have anything simple, straightforward integration.
Yeah,
For example, loading the payroll input in Workday or external
payroll
payroll input in
input.
Workday. Yeah.
Okay. So
So
did
that we
you
can
work
do
anything related to payroll from SAP to Workday?
for
SAP
payroll.
payroll to Workday. Yeah. SAP
Actually,
payroll to
that
Workday.
yeah, that is PG integration, outbound PG integration from Workday. We send the third-party payroll data to SAP vendor, SAP system. I mean to say
Yeah, yeah.
that is PG integration,
So,
not the studio.
okay. Okay. Do you load anything payroll data into Workday using Studios?
Payroll data.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do like payroll input.
Okay.
So
Payroll input. Okay.
payroll inputs we load. I don't think I have example, but let me see. But we already covered 1 hour for which you paid
Yeah,
for.
yeah. I got it. I got it. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is one of the integration where
Okay.
we are receiving one file from
Okay.
using this retrieval service. We are receiving one file from vendor, and
Okay. Loading
I'll
this
let you
into
know this
Workday.
this report. I'll let you know later.
Okay.
Um, okay, and here we have mappings for the earnings. Like a
Mhm.
input, they have um, certain codes which we need to load into Workday. But in Workday, we have different earnings types, right? Then
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
they have so so always we have integration flow like this. So we create one integration flow, start, and then overall flow
Yeah.
will be here, and then these are the sub assemblies.
Okay.
We are not going to add all this
Okay.
in the
Okay.
same line. So
Okay.
in initialize, we are just noting down what are the total number of records so that we can later um create a message like these many records are received and these many are loaded successfully.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So then we are calling the retrieval. In retrieval, as I told you that in the root component, we are having docket iterate strategy where there we can just loop through all the files we received from the retrieval step, and then we can process each one. So as many number of files you receive here, all the subsequent assembly will be executed again and again. So this one and
Okay.
this one will be executed for each file.
Okay.
Okay. So here using the validate XP, you asked one of the question for the validation. So we can write a validate XP component also for validating any data. You can see da.size not equal to 0. So what
Okay.
does it mean? DM in document accessor, size means number of files. So if there is no
Data.
file,
Yeah.
yeah, then it will fail.
Terminate. Okay.
Okay, but we write in such a way that it is opposite of this. So don't think in such a way that da.size not equal to 0, then it will fail. No, if it is true, then it will go to subsequent assembly.
Okay.
Okay, if it is true, then it will go here. It does
Yeah.
not mean that if it is true, then it will execute this error. If it is
Okay.
false, then it will execute this. So we always write in opposite way that failure message will execute. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see further. So you can see whatever file we received in the input file. Um, as I told you that it will be stored in W2 variable, and that variable we are copying into message. Then how can we get the file name? So we can access the variable using this vars W2 variable dot file name. This is a delivered property of any variable. Using this, we can always get the file name of the input file.
Okay.
Using this log, you can always print the current content of the message. So since we replace the message content from file to message, so now the file message content is file. Okay.
Okay.
So now when I try to print the message content, it will actually print the file content because we change the message content using this copy. You can see input was variable and output is message. So message content is replaced by this, and now the slog will print the file content using the CSV to XML. Since the input file was CSV, actually it was 5 delimited. So here we can using this component we can convert this input file to XML, which was a pipe delimited field. So here
Okay.
you need to give the separator as pipe. If it is other than comma, then you need to give. Otherwise, if it is comma, you can leave it blank.
Okay.
And root and row, you can always give this like how the root and row should be there. So if you do not give, then also it will be root and row only. But if you
Okay.
want to print something else, you can write always there.
Okay.
Okay, this is the header. So whenever you want to use the first line as header, then you just give here true.
Okay.
If you don't if you are not receiving the header from the user, then you leave it blank and give your own header here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so whatever is there, so how CSV to XML will convert the file. So now it will print like row, and then sorry, root row, then it will contain the data like
Okay.
this.
Okay.
It will convert like this. Similarly, you will have more columns, and then at the end of this first row it will close it, and then another row will start,
Okay.
which will again have all these individual components.
Okay.
Okay, second one will be employee ID, then third one like this. So it like this it will convert into another XML. If you put a log here, you will see how it is being converted to.
Okay.
You can see I'm trying to print the XML, and here I'm trying to print the XML text content which I received from the input. Okay, so here I'm applying the logic. Since it is now converted to XML, if I write this expression part 0 xpath, part 0 means current message content, and dot xpath because since it is XML, so I can apply the xpath property here to count it, and then here inside it I can always write whatever functions are supported by XSLT. I can always write all those functions, either count, format number, or some. Okay, you can see here then the requirement was if it does not contain any records which have the record type D, then you need to generate the error. So here I'm checking the count, and then I'm comparing here. If it is 0, then I need to print the message that there are no records, so script processing. Okay, then it
Okay.
will not execute the subsequent component which is called process file. It will stop here only because of the validate, and because of validate it will go to this put integration message. It will go to this parameter, and it will generate the same error message here with warning status. Otherwise it will go to call process file, which is this. So here we are splitting each record root row, and then we are taking all those in things. You see, all those properties are being initialized by the input file detail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you can ignore this for the time. I'll explain this later. Then we are calling the web service using this. After you see, after splitter, we are calling XSLT inside async mediation, and then we are running the worked out. So which I explained you here in this. That after splitter, we are calling the XSLT to apply workday logic. So here actually we are applying XSLT to create the web service. What is the web service? Submit payroll input request to load the data into Workday.
Okay.
So here whatever parameters which are required by the Workday, we are passing all those and ignoring the one which we don't have or are optional. If it is mandatory, we need to give those. So using this value of select, we are printing all those, and here we are giving the tags which are
Mm.
needed by Workday. How you can get to know what are needed? So you can always come on these operations in work submit payroll. This is get and this is submit. So here in this request, you will get to know that what are the parameters which are needed, and more details you can just go into individual details. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, so you can see this worked out soap component we are calling and we are executing it. After that, we are printing the success log. What is the success log? Another sub assembly where we are storing, we are incrementing the count for the success, and then we
Failure
are
and
store.
success. Right? Okay.
Yeah, then we are using a cloud log component to store the logs. If we have some additional columns, we can add here in the extra columns, but
Okay.
yeah, we can store message detail, whether it's passed or failed, reference ID if you have any. Similarly, in case of error, it will go to this component, and then declaration workspace, it will execute this. It will increment the count for the error log, and it will store the message white field, and same thing, it will store in using the cloud log. It will store in the log message. It, I mean to say, it will generate a file using this assembly. It will store the file, error
Yeah.
log file into an end.
Okay.
Yeah, this one we are calling at the end of the assembly,
Okay.
which is here. Process post error success log. So once all these records are processed, individual error and success are done. Then at the end of this is being called. So whatever we had stored in the variable name store. So then we are transforming that store to a file name. We are passing this as input, and then we are storing this. So then a file will be created with this name,
Generated. Okay.
p file name. P file name also we must have initialized somewhere in this. I think here. Okay, it is not here, but somewhere. Yeah, here it is.
Okay.
Sorry, records.html. So this is one of the example you you can explain to them. This is like processing, loading the loading the payroll inputs into Workday,
Okay.
and then creating the logs based on the success and error. So you see in this Workday web service, they may ask one question here. Once you execute Workday out so you don't have the error handling on this, right? So that
Yeah.
error handling you need to handle in the previous assembly, sorry, previous async mediation only. So in this
Okay.
here you have the sender component, but how you can make sure that whatever error is coming in this validation error by the Workday executed here. So for that you can go to async mediation, go to advanced tab, and then select this handle downstream error true. Whatever is in
Okay.
dark bold,
Yeah.
those are default values. If even if you
Okay.
don't select those, that is okay. So you can see this in async mediation. Handle downstream error, bold
Okay.
one is default, but I manually selected this true. So what it will do that if it is true, then if any error comes, it will go back to the previous subassembly wherever handle downstream error is true, and then it will execute that. So
Okay.
in case of failure of this, it will execute this. In case of any error in these components, again it will execute this.
Okay.
Okay, they will ask this only. So I think now you should be good. So now we can close it.